The following podcast contains spoilers.
This is the Bunzerelly Show.
All right, we're coming off of part 2 of our coverage of the Spider-Man Anthology. We started out with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the Sony years. Now we're moving on to the MCU years, and we just watched the trilogy of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Of course, I got Nick with me.
Hey guys.
I'm glad we bailed on Infinity War and Endgame, because I think it would have been a little bit of a distraction. Because what I found so we watched the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And I find that just watching them one after the other, it was kind of funny because I had to kind of remind you, like, okay, here's where we're at. We're after Endgame. We're before this. We're before that. But it was nice watching those 3 because you saw, like, the character development of Tom Holland's Spider-Man as it progressed and changed without all the distractions of Endgame and Infinity War.
Right.
Like, his first one, he wants to be one of the Avengers. Then the second one, he wants to go back to being a kid.
Yeah.
And then the third one is, he's just dealing with the situation in front of him, but by the end and the ramifications of the end. But we'll start at the beginning after this. But at the end, he's in a whole different place.
Yeah.
And he actually really changes after the events of the third movie. But let's start with the first one. What'd you think about that one?
I thought it was good, but I don't think it was the best starter out of the 3 actors.
It was weird because they skipped the origin and they kind of did a lot of the introduction stuff in Civil War. So it was just like, all right, let's give him something to do. Let's set up a bad guy. And I tell you something, I like, and it's going to come up in the first 2 movies. I like Spider-Man and the Avengers, but I don't like too much Avengers stuff in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's very clunky. Like, just the fact that the cleanup crew from the Avengers events and everything, I don't know, you don't need that much to show Spider-Man lives in that world. You don't got to slap us in the face with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I see what you're saying. I think the fact that he's an Avenger, air quotes when I say it, I think that part's cool. But the thing for me is I don't like technologically advanced Spider-Man as much as, just like Spider-Man, like a teenager just making a suit without many 2 perks. Like, yeah.
Kaim, who's been on the show a lot, he felt the same way. He didn't like, his big problem with his Spider-Man was all the advances of technology and everything, and his suits kind of stuff, which, by the way, when we get to the end, it looks like you're going to strip him down bare bones, which makes it very exciting for this next Spider-Man they're filming, Brand New Day.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going back to basics, like no Avengers help, no anything.
Yeah.
But, that first movie, it was cool because it kind of set up the tone. Like, I set up Ned, his aunt, his relationships and everything. There was some neat stuff. I mean, I thought the Vulture was really cool.
Yeah, he's a very, very good villain.
Yeah, he was good. He was believable. I like the struggle with, like I'm saying, I don't mind Avengers characters in the Spider-Man movie. Like, I liked Iron Man being there. Yeah. I just didn't like it being so tied to the Avengers moving day and Spider-Man's the hero of it. It was just a little. He could have been a little more on his own and still had the Iron Man show up and everything, but it didn't have to be an Avengers based mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you watch an Ant-Man movie, it's not like Ant-Man's ramifications of the Avengers. It's Ant-Man doing his Ant-Man thing.
Yeah.
Just a little separation. Granted, it was exciting because, okay, Spider-Man's part of the MCU. This is a big deal.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing that. But I like that. What else to say about the first movie? Because the second and thirds are where things really start moving. But, the relationship with Ned, they established stuff with Aunt May and everything.
Yeah.
At the end, he gets the suit, and then it's like, hey, I mean, ironically, he doesn't. The doesn't accept the suit. Next
Right.
movie, suit goes on right away in Infinity War. But it was cool, and it was a cool tease because that when he had that Iron Spider in Infinity War was awesome.
Yeah.
And the role, that's why I'm saying, like, I like him in those Avengers movies. I like him as that second character, like with all those heroes mixed together. I like that. I just don't like mixing too much MCU with Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man mixed in with the MCU. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like with with all the movies, for me it was whenever I really like the moments where I was so close to seeing Spider-Man as just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like they just referenced like Iron Man.
Yeah, a lot of it was the second movie. The second movie is really good.
I think that's the I think that's the best of the Tom Holland series.
It's okay. It's good, but I have a big problem with that Iron Man, that Tony Stark left him that weaponry without like too much explaining what it does.
Yeah.
And just like and meanwhile, when Tony Stark died, he didn't even think Spider-Man was coming back. Like when he went in that last mission, he didn't. That was a surprise at the end when all the heroes came back.
Right.
So that was a little like. There's a lot of people Tony Stark, but it's a little small complaint. It just seemed like very like, yep, here you go. I would have rather been like Tony, like maybe Peter found it by accident or something. Not a big deal, not a big complaint. But they kind of dug into that whole like who's going to be the next Iron Man thing. And really, is anybody looking at Spider-Man for that?
Yeah.
But I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying, but going back to that MCU stuff. Mm-hmm. But 2 was the second one. What was it? Far From Home. There's home and everything.
Yeah.
But Far From Home was cool because towards the end of that, he transitions because he really messes up. And then he makes right. And all of a sudden, he's finding himself and he's designing his costume. And,
Right.
He becomes the hero and he's fighting. The action scenes in that movie were fantastic. Where he started like relying on his spider sense and like just the way he fights with everything.
Yeah.
Like when he was fighting those drones was really good. So I think the third one is his best movie, but it's not because of the other Spider-Man. Because watching it again, because now I'm watching it for like the 5th time, so I'm over the 3 Spider-Man thing. Okay? Mm-hmm. It had a couple things going for it. First of all the villains, none of them needed a backstory because they're all from different Spider-Man worlds.
Right.
And had you not seen any of the other Spider-Man movies, which you hadn't the first time you saw the movie, it's okay. They're bad guys from other universes. You don't need to know.
Right.
Which, and I'm not saying it kind of made it easier because you could skip that part, the bad guy's origin.
Right.
And now you have Spider-Man, a self-contained story. Now Doctor Strange is involved, but it's not so wrapped in all that Avengers MCU stuff. It's just Doctor Strange. I like the character being there, like playing a role. But for some reason, I just feel like that, like Spider-Man's like most development kind of happened in that movie. Like that was the transition where, like it was the long game of with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Because he felt like he had to do the right thing. He brought all these villains here, and first it was reluctance to do it, but his Aunt May pushed him, and then he ended up doing it.
Right.
I was gonna say, Green Goblin. Like I think he owned that movie as far as
Yeah, he was pretty good.
even the ending fight. Well, yeah, he does have that final battle, but I'd rather like the part where the 3 Spider-Men are fighting all the villains. Mm-hmm. I like it better. My favorite part is where it's just Norman versus Peter in the condo when he first reveals himself, and he's like, "Norman's on sabbatical, honey." And he reveals himself. He goes, yeah, "Gods don't choose, we take." And he starts like revealing himself, but him and Spider-Man are just like going at it, pretty brutal. They're pushing each other to floors and everything.
Yeah.
I thought, but that movie, as far as like when he lost his aunt, everything kind of changed.
Yeah.
Because then he was at a breaking point where he was just going to throw it all away and not care. That's where the other 2 Spider-Man come in, and they kind of have that moment. And the moment isn't so much what the Spider-Man are saying; it's the realization of, this is your turning point, because with great power comes great responsibility, and the other 2 knew what that meant. And that's where he's still kind of struggling with it, but at least he's going to make an effort to do the right thing.
Right. I like Doc Ock in that movie too.
Yeah, I liked him too because they stayed true to because he never really, his origin was the arms driving him crazy.
Yeah.
And him being like obsessed with that whatever it was, the reactor thing he was building.
Yeah.
But once he was fixed, he has no motivation to do anything bad. He was just sucked into that, and he was just being controlled by those arms. And it was that thing that popped in the back of his neck, and Peter fixed it. So they stayed true to the Electro was really good.
Yeah, Electro was good.
I liked him. I liked his attitude. They got rid of that whole nerdy, he wants to be Spider-Man's pal thing.
Right.
Sandman was just kind of there, like an extra guy.
Yeah.
So was the Lizard, but
Yeah.
it was okay because they all did their thing. It wasn't like they were bad. It was just like the real Doc Ock got his due, but really, yeah, Green Goblin. Really, it was funny because it was like he was continuing the same conversation with Tom Holland's Spider-Man that he started with Tobey's. Is like we have this power and we're not using it to take control of things. We're like stronger than all of this, and he was kind of it was like he was continuing the same fight. One thing that a lot of people said, and I got a thought on it now when I watch it again, but they were like, there was no scene with like Green Goblin and Tobey's Spider-Man really acknowledging each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought of something. It might have been a little too clunky and distracting, but when I was watching it again, when he stabs Tobey's Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and he goes, Peter, what have I done? He should have said it to the other Peter. I think that was the only tweak they needed. I think that would have made it
Yeah.
really just a little something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I agree. Especially with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or with what they reference as Peter 3. They did a lot of like connecting with the villains with him.
Yes.
But with Tobey Maguire, it's really just that one scene of Doc Ock and the
Yeah, and the Doc Ock scene was very kind of touching because it was nice because they did have that mutual respect for each other before Doc Ock went bad, and he was just kind of like, and I think he's Alfred Molina, who plays Doc Ock. He said like his reaction was kind of real because he was like excited to see Tobey again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. Andrew was great. And I tell you, watching it again, I still, not saying that I still really, I'm leaning towards Andrew being my favorite. It's just Spider-Man, not his movies, but just like him. Like the way he carries himself, he seems the most, besides the costume, the most accurate Spider-Man as far as like his wisecracking and stuff. You know what I mean? He just...
Yeah. I can see how you see that. Emotional wise, I agree, but I think with the movies in general, I think Tobey Maguire not only is my favorite. I might have said Andrew in the first part.
Yeah.
But I think Tobey is my favorite and probably the most accurate of the three Spider-Men.
Yeah, he might have been. He's definitely a better Peter Parker. Andrew's Peter Parker was a little too cool for school, but the way he emotes himself as Spider-Man, I'm still a big fan of that. The way he moves around in that suit and talks, he's just very animated.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is the way they wiped the slate clean, because at the end of that movie, Tom Holland is just like, got nobody, no Avengers, no technology.
Right.
Sews himself a costume, and he's off on his own. Now, the next movie, The Little Things I Know, is Punisher's going to be in it. He was more of a street level superhero, which I don't know if you know him that, but he's like a gun dude. But he's then Hulk's going to be in it, but I think more of as like a scientist working with Peter, like maybe it's going to be just Dr. Banner working with Peter.
Yeah.
And they haven't really shown too much. The only things that I have seen is him just doing some street level stuff. Like they show him jumping from car to car. Really more like what Toby and Andrew used to do.
Yeah.
And they're using a lot of wire work. Mm-hmm. So it's more practical effects instead of like just CGI Spider-Man swinging around.
Right.
So it's kind of promising stuff. Like they're going to put him more back. Like the whole idea was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But now you're going to have him no crazy suits, just a. And they say too that or I don't know if that's a true thing or it's just like a fan theory, but like he made himself that costume based on Toby's and Andrew's. It's like, oh, you know what? Just a simpler design that they use.
Yeah.
He did that. But
It looks a lot like Andrew's.
yeah, I think because when they made that movie, they just did that really quick for that scene. So I think he's going to start in that costume, but I think he's going to get a different version of it because there's this costume that's yet to be revealed. But I think it's still going to be that same normal pattern, but just like a little better looking. Mm-hmm. But they're going to start, for continuity, you're going to start him out in that suit. I'm not positive because they keep acting like there's a suit that needs to be revealed. So it might just be a little better. Because it was the blues were a little bright. Not a big deal, but I'm just saying I think they slap it together real quick and they probably designed something better afterwards.
Yeah. I like the costume that they revealed. I think with the stuff that I have seen in the comics, I think it looks a lot like the comics.
And also, him in that apartment kind of goes back to Tobey Maguire's.
Yeah.
Because if you're broke in New York, you're not getting a great place.
Yeah.
Like the cost of living up there. So but if you noticed, he had in his box, he had a book of how to study for a GED. Because everybody forgot who he was. Right. So he needs to, I'm sure he's still going to go as Peter Parker, but they're just not going to remember him before that time.
Right.
But yeah, he's got to go through, he's studying for his GED, so he might be in college again by the next movie. And maybe, but not the college he got accepted to. He's probably going to be in some community college or something. That's why the next movie's called Brand New Day. Because it's good, because it was like, first it was Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Now they got rid of that whole home thing and it said Brand New Day. So it's going to be like a reset point for him.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting because now it could totally change gears. Mm-hmm. And let's get back to Toby and Andrew showing up, and you got the three Spider-Men together.
Yeah.
That was exciting the first time it happened in theaters because they kept it under wraps pretty well. Mm-hmm. And they show up at the third act of the movie. So by the time the movie's going, you're so engaged. At least I was so engaged the first time I saw it. I kind of forgot if that was going to happen, or I stopped thinking or wondering if that was going to happen because the movie was just going and the movie was good.
Right.
But it was really kind of like the big turn of the movie, like I said, the third act. But Aunt May dies, it's rock bottom, and all of a sudden Ned and the first Spider-Man that comes out. But like it was funny because everybody recognized Andrew pretty quick just from that far away shot of him in the costume.
Yeah.
But once he jumps through, you definitely recognize that costume. And then he takes the mask off.
Yeah.
But that was cool. And then they brought Toby back.
Yeah. So, out of all the Spider-Man movies that have come out, other than Brand New Day, which Spider-Man movie would you say is your favorite?
If I had to just have them all, I would say Spider-Man 2. Toby's Spider-Man 2.
Toby's Spider-Man 2?
With Doc Ock. And it's like the perfect arc of the stuff going on with him with Mary Jane, the stuff going on with Harry before they kind of blew it in the third movie. But yeah, the stuff going on with Mary Jane, the stuff that he wants to quit being Spider-Man. There was a lot going on in that movie, and it was not like sloppy. It was really smooth.
Yeah.
And it really set up for a good third movie. It just kind of dropped. I still think they kind of dropped the ball in the third movie. But yeah, I think that was my favorite.
I think my favorite, and I know a lot of people would say otherwise because it's mostly considered the, air quotes when I say it again, worst of the Spider-Man movies, but I think my favorite is Andrew's Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, that's a good one. My worst is Toby's 3. That's my worst.
Your worst is Toby's 3?
Yeah. I mean, like as weak as Tom Holland's first one was, it wasn't bad. It was just, it kind of went through the motions. It was kind of like just okay. You know what I mean? But the Spider-Man 3 one was just, nobody got the right spotlight because you're dealing with Sandman and Venom and
Right.
Harry, and it just none of them got enough time to make it interesting.
Yeah.
It just was a bunch of dudes hanging around. Whereas you had like 5 villains in Homecoming, but that was a solid, straightforward story.
Yeah.
So it's not always just about too many villains. It was just whatever it was, the focus wasn't right. Venom shouldn't have been in the movie where they're trying to finish the stuff with Harry. Venom shouldn't have been there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree, but I think my least favorite is Tom Holland's first one, and the first Spider-Man 3, Tobey's Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
I'll agree it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But to me, I would rather have too much going on than not having enough. For me, Tom Holland's first one, it kind of felt like a Spider-Man to me almost appeared as Iron Man's sidekick because there was a lot going on with him.
Yeah.
And I feel like almost if his first movie went too smoothly.
Yeah, kind of just cut by the numbers. Yeah, it is interesting. You said Andrew's Amazing Spider-Man because it is funny because it did when you watch it again. It's really got an impact because you're really focused on the stuff going on with Gwen and Peter, and it's really interesting. Like it's not just cut and dry.
Yeah,
like in Spider-Man 3. Tobey had his relationship problems with Mary Jane, but it was a little just, it was kind of clunky. The way it went with Emma, because even in the beginning, he's like, I got to break up because he's thinking about the dad, Captain Stacy. And us as audience members are like, haven't you been through this already? You know, in the first movie, you already dealt with this. But then even she said, so it kind of like was real, you know, she said, I'm tired of this. You keep going back and forth with this. I'm breaking up with you. Then they try to be friends and this and that. But yeah, that was really good. The dynamic between those two in that movie.
Yeah.
Granted, see, I kind of leaned back towards Andrew's. Andrew's first one though was kind of sweet. Like I had his sweet moments. Yeah. Like the crane swing when all the city workers are helping him swing through. But yeah, I think Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was just trying to set up too many things for like the next movie, and it just kind of, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, one last thing. I feel like in the Amazing Spider-Man 1, it was good, but I feel like Peter or Spider-Man was a bit too cool for school. Like Toby's and Tom's are kind of more wimpy. Yeah. And then you go to Andrew, he's like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man, I'm cool and awesome.
Yeah, he's more like emo than like nerdy. Yeah, but I did, I tell you, I did like Flash Thompson in that second, in his. Yeah. Garfield's Flash was cool because he bullied him for a little bit, but then he was actually like a real kid. Like when his uncle died, he felt bad, and it was a cool relation. That was kind of cool to see that relationship change. But all in all, like I said, it's cool. Really good experience, Nick, watching all these Spider-Man with you. So thank you. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was real fun.
And like I said, really, after taking all that in, I'm really curious and I'm really excited about Brand New Day, which will be next year. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys.